Today I'm going to be going over From Japan and how I utilize it to find the best deals on used clothing. This can apply to any category, but I just personally only go for clothing, so that's what we're going to focus on. What you want to do is, let's start off by going for one keyword that we're looking for. So let's just say the brand like Raf Simons. And if you've seen my Bai tutorial as well, it's basically the same thing, but just on From Japan, but it's a little bit different. So what I do is, because From Japan does not have a new arrivals thing, so what I like to do is just do from low to high, and then from there I'm gonna bookmark this inside of a folder that is titled, say, just From Japan. You can bookmark this, and what I like to do is I have two folders for From Japan. One of them is for buy nows, one of them is for finding auctions. They're all using the same keywords, but there's just two for each. So this one I would use to make my buy now one. So I do buy now items only, then I filter that. And then next I go down here and sort by fashion to get rid of all these other random things. And once I get to this page, I just tend to click on this page right here to boost me up to like a realistic price for this brand, and then I move my way down until I find the cheapest one, or whatever's within my budget, because I'm looking for stuff to resell. So I'm looking for the lower prices to, that works my margins, but that just depends on you. And then from there, you can repeat it as many times for whatever brands that you're looking for. And whenever you do the auction ones, it's basically the exact same thing, but on the auction. And then what I like to sort it by is the one with the most amount of bids, so you can see which ones are actually like good. Because if it's just flooded with the ones with no bids, you're just gonna see a bunch of like crap. But when you see the ones that people are actually voting on or bidding on, then like that's actually something worth your time. And another thing I like about From Japan is that it has all these other websites. So personally, I only like Brand Collect, Trayfac, and Komeho. I like Trayfac the best out of these. And so you can just repeat that same process with those other stores, and then when you just hit control or command click on your bookmark folder, it'll just open all of them, and then you can just check all of them. Do that like maybe twice a day, and then you won't really miss anything. Another thing I like is that you can just paste in URLs from Japanese websites that aren't already on From Japan. But the one thing I don't like is that they don't have ZozoTown, which I do like, and that one's only really available through Bai. So that's the one thing, but I think that's a fair trade-off. Like I don't use ZozoTown that much. And another thing that's really important that you check is From Japan referral and discount code list. They drop this on Reddit every month. So this is the August 2025 one, and it's all these codes. They all work. This isn't like a finesse. These all work. So this one I like using the most. It's a 10% off for auctions and 99 uses. And make sure it's like actually worth it, because some of these, as you can see, are single use. You can only use it once. And then you have these other ones that are like multiple uses, but for orders over a certain amount. So just make sure it's worth it to you. I tend to just use it whenever I can because I don't order that much. Another thing that I've just created too is I've created a list of all the best websites that I've been using to like make a lot of profit. I've made an entire list, like all the super niche websites that people don't really know about, including all the popular ones, literally every website that I've used. And It is in the description, but the thing is that I am charging $20 for it, I'll be honest, because I make a lot of money off of these sites, and every time someone else figures out about them, then that's like more competition stopping me from making more money. So I feel like I kind of have to charge for them, because that's just like added competition. But if you are interested, $20 for a list of sites that have made me probably thousands at this point. So another thing too, if you go and look at my packages here, I like to wait, or one thing that I prefer with From Japan over Bai is that Bai only lets you hold them for 30 days, whereas From Japan you can do 60 days. But with Bai, if you pass the 30-day mark, they just charge you to hold it more. Whereas on From Japan, after 60 days, they just discard it like immediately. Which shouldn't be of any worry unless you're like have severe memory loss or something. And before you ship any orders, I mean, this is kind of self-explanatory, but wait for all your stuff to come in first before you do anything, and make sure you select all of them before going to next, so you make sure they're all in the same package. And other than that, my basic process is I just open my bookmarks whenever I have the time. I just scan through the pages up, since it's sorted from low to high, I scan through the pages up until it gets to a price that I'm not comfortable spending. Go to the next. Keyword, same thing. And for auctions, I just open them all, and then whichever ones stand out, I just open in a new tab, review all of them afterwards, and then bookmark the ones I need to come back to later because they're auctions, and come back to whenever they're close to ending. But yeah, other than that, it's very simple. That's basically it. And I find the shipping on here to be cheaper than Bai as well, which is good. Yeah,